A new podcast series by Youth Photographic Society, Reflections. Very interesting guest who always comes with a touch of red, Satish. What is the first step for me to take up photography?
Really interest to take up photography as a hobby.
Every phone has a camera and everybody is doing photography. Pictures of a very mediocre quality.
When you think about nature and wildlife, you should not become a photographer. You should become a bird watcher.
Is there any age limit when you can start this?
At the age of 7, I was taking them to my fields.
So what are the things that make a good picture, first of all?
Most important is
Namaste and welcome to the new podcast series by Youth Photographic Society called Reflections. Today we have a very interesting guest who is very colorful, who always comes with a touch of red, Satish. So welcome to the podcast, Satish.
Thank you so much.
Youth Photographic Society is a photographic club based in Bengaluru, which is 54 years old now, or should I say 54 years young, because we have members ranging from 12 years old to 90. So we have a wide range of aged members where they come and learn photography, and we have a member base from all over India. At present we are around 1,000 members with 350 plus as life members, and we have junior associates between the age of 12 and 18 who have free membership at the club so as to learn photography. Mr. Satish, who is a very senior member of YPS, he has also been practicing photography from the last 44 years. So this is going to be starting from the very initial stages as how a person can take up photography and how he can grow in this field. So welcome to the podcast, Satish.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so happy that we are doing this first episode with you. You being a very senior member and who has mentored a lot of members at YPS, not only at YPS but all over India, I should say. And today you have a good standing on an international arena also. So I take this as our privilege to have you here on the first podcast.
My privilege too. Anyway, anytime for photography and for Youth Photographic Society, I am always there.
So today, if we have to start with a conversation, I will put myself in a place where I'm a newcomer for photography. Say I'm a newcomer, and those are the questions that I'm going to ask you about, because this is something that I want people who have no idea about how to take photography to a next level can benefit from this. So if I say that, well, I don't know anything about photography, so what would be my first step to take this up as a hobby? I'm not talking about being a professional in the sense like where they cover events or they cover weddings or they do a professional job. I'm just talking about a hobby, because nowadays people can afford to buy equipment and every phone has a camera and everybody is doing photography. But what you see in general is pictures of a very mediocre quality. So we will start with how it can be improved. So what is the first step for me to take up photography?
First of all, congratulations to Youth Photographic Society for completing 54 years in the service of art of photography. And I am so privileged and lucky, to be associated with this #1 photography club in India from almost more than 44 years. When I started my photography as a hobby at the age of 12,
Yes.
when most of the children, they keep playing with their toys and in the streets and other things. But I had a different mindset altogether to take up camera as a tool to create my my imagination through the camera. So my brother encouraged me to take up photography and he gave me camera. So such kind of elders you need to encourage. But everybody is not in such kind of a place where elders will really encourage you. In photography, we have various fields. Then later on, you can choose. But basically, you should have real interest to take up photography as a hobby.
So I guess, anybody who would want to take it to the next level has that interest in them, that they want to create something better. Or maybe, maybe I can always check on various things that you're going to talk about and then decide if I have it in me or if I'm not interested in it. That of course will happen. So if you say this now, is there any age limit when you can start this? How young can you start, or can you also take it up later in life? So is there something like that?
For that question, my answer would be that, see, in particularly when we talk about photography, there are various fields of photography. Okay, so generally in photography, many of the people who take up as a hobby, they want to venture into nature and wildlife. When you think about nature and wildlife, first you should not become a photographer initially. You should become a bird watcher. So that is how I trained my nephews and my son and all those people. At the age of 7, I was taking them to my fields trips for bird watching, butterfly watching, into the forest and all. So you have to inculcate that interest of nature and teach them what is there in the nature, what is this bird, what is the behavior of birds, how many butterflies are there, how to identify each butterfly, how to identify insects, or how to be safe with the animals, and create such kind of interest among children. Then later on you teach them, it slowly comes to their mind. Later on you teach them photography. So naturally they will get more interest into wildlife. That is how we train youngsters. But whereas if they are not interested in nature photography, for example, if they are interested in street photography or general monument photography and all, you take them to various places. You give them cameras and make them to take images. So show them the pictures, how they have taken. That creates more interest to them.
That's interesting that you say you give them a camera and then you take them to these places and encourage them to take pictures.
Yes.
Well, okay, so if they have to get a camera, buy a camera, of course, say it is for a child who is around 12 years or 15 years of age. Now, what you don't want to spend too much also on the equipment, because it's just the first step for them to get in. So what would you recommend that they go in for? What kind of a camera, and what do they need to have different kind of lenses, and anything that would help?
Yes, basically when you want to take up photography as a hobby, you should not spend too much of money into your equipments. Equipments will be at later stage depending on your interest, how much interest you develop later on stages. So basically you should have a single camera with one normal lens or wide angle lens, whatever, and then you start taking pictures whatever you like. You should not restrict your ideas to one subject. Like if you love flowers, don't restrict to flowers. You take leaves, patterns, and take some monuments or take some statues. Apart from all this, you take portraits of your parents, your children, brother, sister. You develop the idea of composition. So that is where it creates so much of interest within you. And after taking such kind of pictures, if I remember, when I started photography at an early stage, later on when my brother was giving me films, I used to take pictures of the cat, dog, my sister, my relatives, and all those things. When I make a print, I used to gift them one print to them so that they get more interest. So they used to call me for their functions or get-togethers. I was taking free of cost, but I want to develop that art. So that time I had to do free of cost. that not only gives you more time for your experimenting, but you will get more experienced with your camera gadgets like body or lens or whatever.
So
That is more important.
Yeah. So that nowadays I think we have a great advantage where
Yes.
it is digital. So you know people take hundreds of pictures, and you know how it is. You know after that it is difficult to say which is a good one and which is
Correct.
bad. We'll come to those qualities
Yes.
of what is a good picture and what doesn't make a good picture later. But now with the digital this one, yes, of course you can take pictures like that, you can handle it. Now I've seen picture, in fact some of our member children who are as young as 6-7-year-old, they come with their little toy cameras,
Yes.
which really takes digital pictures,
Yes.
and they've already started. So I see a bright future for these children where as a hobby also they can develop. Because if you take me, you know, I came into serious photography very late in life, almost after retirement I should say.
I see.
But then when children start, yes, it can grow into something really great that we will discuss, of course, in later podcasts also.
But to continue with your sayings, you know, what you said is very right. See, about 35-40 years back, we had very disadvantage of cameras and lenses
Yeah.
because it was all manual.
Yes.
And the type of cameras and lenses, if you want one SLR camera, for example, we were depending on foreigners, any relatives coming from foreign countries, so that they can bring. Otherwise, we had to pay hefty prices
hefty
in
prices.
China. I mean, in Chennai, and we used to go to Chennai and buy cameras. And while bringing cameras in the bus also, it's very difficult because police checking was there. They used to confiscate the cameras and lenses because there was no tax paid or custom paid or anything.
Okay.
So we used to give it to the driver to keep it under his seat. While getting down from the bus, we used to collect. But now the advantage is enormous for the children.
That's true.
Because every household, they have 8 to 10 mobiles.
Oh yes.
And the children are given 1 or 2 mobiles without any doubt.
Yeah.
And one for chatting and one for photography. So the advantage of mobile photography is such that the people have got, particularly the children who want to take up as a hobby, they have got enormous advantage of mobile photography because each day, undoubtedly, each person will be clicking more than 25 to 30 pictures.
Yeah.
Without any doubt, anything and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
So whatever he sees in front of his eyes, he wants to take picture.
That's true.
Apart from that, they also want to take selfie picture.
Yes.
In our period, there was no selfie
No
at all.
selfies.
So like that. So now the chances of getting into photography and getting more interest in photography is increasing day by
much,
day
much
from the childhood itself.
Yes. So that now that we have spoken about this, how people, more and more people are getting into it. Now, all right, just pointing a camera or pointing the mobile and taking a picture, which everybody does. Whereas sometimes when you see, like somebody who has learnt a little bit of those rules of photography and all that, there's a lot of difference between an ordinary picture and that. So if we can talk in this episode, if we can talk about just the very basic rules which will make a good picture. Now, what are the things that make a good picture, first of all? Like, I don't know anything about photography, but I want a pretty good picture. So what are the things that I should look for?
Yeah. So
this is all before I start learning photography seriously.
yes. So I have got 3 reasons here. One is that many people, they take pictures for record sake. So record is one such thing. What happens is when I visit a beautiful garden like this, if I see some orchid or some rare flower or some beautiful plant, I'll take one picture. Okay, that is just to record that there is a new thing that I have seen, so I take one record. I liked it and take it, and I will show it to my people. The second part is album picture. Album picture is one such thing where I want to keep it for a longer time. So keep it in the album. Whenever that memory comes, when you open the album, you get beautiful memories. I visited this house. This house had a beautiful garden. This flower was there, and all those things. It's for memories. The record picture may not be in the memories because after few days you may delete your pictures, whether in camera or in mobile or anything, you will delete. The next final part is the art photography. The art photography is that where you are putting soul into your picture. To create that picture, it's a creation. So the God has put his soul into this world creations. That's why this nature looks so beautiful. So why he makes beautiful mountains with rivers and all. So that creation is entirely different. So each portion is a different creation. Likewise, even in photography, whatever you take, whatever the field of photography that you are in, like portraiture or flower photography or wildlife, you have to put your soul into the picture before taking the picture. You have to compose in your mind what should be my framing. Within this frame, how much the animal should be or the flower should be. If you are taking a picture, that portrait what you are taking, that soul should speak to you. It is not just recording of one picture. That recording of a person becomes passport size photograph.
Yes.
Passport size photograph doesn't have a soul. That is for a purpose.
Yeah. They ask us not to smile also.
Exactly. So there is nothing in that. So basically photography, what we are speaking is, photography is writing with light. So photo is light, graphy is writing. So writing with light is photography. You have to need light basically for photography. So for artistic photography, we need various kind of lighting from different angles and different heights, and different source of lights are there. So how you utilize those kind of light is very important for an artistic photographer.
So that will come at a later stage when you are really into learning.
That is what, these three stages you have to pass. So when you come to art of photography, these are the elements that are very important, like lighting, composing, or subject, all those things. So otherwise, taking record pictures even at a time when you are at a top level is a waste.
That's what we all teach even in our club, where it's a different kind of a level. So where we learn much seriously. Now this is at a very initial stage when I'm still not a member of any club. I don't know how to take pictures. Is there any way where I can get some, some not coaching, I won't call it coaching. Coaching means you'll have to join a club or you'll have to join some workshop or something to learn. Even before that, is there any way where I can just pick up some points of what makes a good picture? Now lighting, you said lighting. What kind of lighting? Now if I'm taking that same flower that you spoke about, now can I take it any time of the day, or is it good during some time of the day? What kind of lighting, if you can elaborate on that?
See, usually what happens, when we start our hobby as a photography as a hobby, we don't have anybody who can guide us, or maybe a guru. So I grew up in this photography field without a guru. So I started learning by looking at others' pictures and taking points from that picture. What is good in that picture? How is the composition? Which side the lighting is coming? And shadows, how much shadows are there? How much it is filled? And what to include and what to exclude? All this comes under composition. So by looking at others' picture, you are learning a lot. That is one portion. The second portion is that, supposing if you take some pictures, you show it to elders, some seniors, whoever is in the field. So supposing you are not a part of any photography club, or you don't know anybody, supposing if there is an exhibition in your area, in your cities, you go to that exhibition, whoever is organizing that exhibition, there will be some good photographers. You show it to them, ask their guidance, they will guide you. So there is no such thing that earlier when we were learning, I'll tell you, uh, it was a very, very difficult period. Probably whoever is in my generation of photographers, they would have faced this. We were not allowed inside the studio to learn our black and white photography, how they develop, how they print and all, because it was a secret. Nobody, they used to reveal the secret. It is not a secret at all.
Nowadays,
It is
the internet, I think everything is in the open.
yeah, but that time there was no internet. That was the disadvantage. So we used
is there a way where I can check for some sites on the net and learn, or is it easier to join some club and learn one-to-one? Which is a better way to do?
I will tell you the best thing is to join a photography club and learn one-to-one, and you catch hold of a very good mentor and take his advice or take his guidance and be under his mentorship, so that you will learn fast.
So it is faster.
I will also tell one more thing about photography is such that it is like swimming. Whatever the internet or wherever the books it teaches photography or swimming, you read everything, you cannot get into swimming pool and swim there. So photography is also just like swimming. Whatever the internet teaches or books teaches anything, if there is no one-to-one coaching, you cannot understand photography better. By experience, you have to get this thing.
That's my experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it takes more time.
Yes.
So trial and error method and coming to one level, it takes more time.
Takes a lot of
Whereas a mentor teaching one-to-one, it takes less time, so you can learn very fast, then create your own
that I can vouch
experience.
for, having joined YPS in 2016. Within a year, the graph went up. That is
Yes,
because we were
absolutely.
interacting with seniors. You were one of the mentors of this thing, and that I agree. I think it's best to join some organization
Yes.
where you can get feedback, and then there is somebody telling you what is better, what you should do.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So light is this one you said, which is very.
See, as I said, photography, it needs basically first the lighting. So now we have got lighting. So what is next? Next is the subject. If you don't have any subject, what to shoot? So whatever the subject that you are shooting, you have to put this light properly to illuminate it properly. Supposing if I am taking a picture of yours, a portraiture. So passport photos doesn't have any depth or any dimension to it. It's a flat picture because it is for a purpose. So whereas where we are talking about art of photography, artistic photography rather, so here we need so many intricacies of compositions and lightings, all those things involved. So artistic way of approaching the subject is very important first. So when I look at your face, I have to see what is good, what is bad, all those things. Bad, I have to close it, and beauty thing is I have to reveal it. So when you want to close or not to show something which is bad, I have to subdue it in such a way that I have to turn the model in different opposite way. If supposing if I want to show the beauty, I have to lit up from one side angle and show the beauty of model. And if she has got beautiful hairs and all, I have to give one more lighting to lit up the hair like that. So bringing the anatomy of a person in a beautiful way is in portraiture. Same way even in flowers also.
That is what I was going to ask you. Okay, this is for a person, but what about a flower which is beautiful in itself? I don't think there is anything that you would like to hide in a flower and bring out something. Like in the morning we were looking at some of the orchids here, which are beautiful in itself. So there, how do you, and suppose, now I am not talking about artificial lighting here because this is a very initial, this one we are doing. I am just doing it in sunlight. So can I do it sometime in the afternoon at around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whenever I find the time? Or is there a good time when pictures will get enhanced at that particular?
Okay, first I will talk about one first thing about flower photography, you know. See, there are many things in nature or in our daily life which are beautiful.
Yeah.
Supposing if you look at a girl, she is very beautiful.
There you go. Satish has to talk about beautiful ladies, and especially if you're in red, yes, it has to be a touch of red and a beautiful girl who can be photographed.
Actually, you know, it's a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So as a photographer, it's a must and should. Even if you don't want also, automatically the beautiful girls will come in front of us with the touch of red, of course. In flower also, similarly, it is a nature made. It is already beautiful. Still you have to make it more beautiful by placement of lighting, also selection of background, all those things. That is how it looks much more beautiful than what it is. So that is what photography is all about. Already there is a beauty in nature. You are enhancing it through your art. Art of photography is that. So for this, the most important is generally we say in photography, early morning before the sunrise, we take pictures of seashores where the water waves are coming. We take in slow motion. That time the color temperature will be very cool. So we get blue color tones. We call it as a blue hour. This is the same thing after the sunset also. After 1 hour of the sunset, we have got various colors. It's called blue hour. So after the sun rises up to 7:30, 8 o'clock, there will be lighting which is at 45-degree angle. That will be very suitable for all kinds of photography, from portraitures to landscape to flowers or buildings or anything. Later on what happens when the sun changes its position going to the top, it creates shadows below the, deep shadows below the chin, nose, eyes for portraits, and it creates shadows even for the flowers. The flowers will not look beautiful after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock because of the shadows. You bring it to the shadow and see it still retains the beauty. So the buildings also, if you want to take, it will have deep shadows. It will not look nice. So we have got different timings for photography. So the same case in the afternoon, after 4 o'clock up to 6 o'clock, you can do beautiful pictures. If you want to do some dramatic pictures, after sunset also it is very nice.
So that comes in an advanced stage of photography. That's one thing. Okay. So the advanced, a little bit advanced. I'm not going to the very high, level of photography as yet, because this is the initial podcast we are doing. So we would like to go step by step. So this was a very good introduction to photography, I should say, where people can think of, if they would like to enhance their photography. Because every person who has a phone, like I told you, thinks that, well, I am a photographer and I am taking pictures. But we have seen when we have gone to schools and also given them workshops and all that, we have noticed that people do not know any of the things that we are talking about, and it is a revelation for them, and they try out pictures immediately and then see the difference, and they are really excited about how they have improved their photography with just 1 or 2 tips. Now there are many more tips that we need to cover, but of course which we will do in the next episode. And for this episode, I thank you for coming over and giving us this knowledge about photography, and as always it's a pleasure talking to you, and I hope we will be soon able to take the next episode also. We will continue our conversation in the second episode, and give people a few more tips about the basics of photography, and slowly we will go into the more intricacies of picture taking. So Satish, this was a wonderful episode where you gave us some knowledge about what is required for photography, how the first step can be taken. So if you can tell a newcomer or the youngsters, give them some inputs about this first step, what would you suggest that they do?
See, my first and foremost advice to the youngsters is that just get out of your house. Don't stick on to your mobiles and computers. So now the world is changing a lot. Day by day, world is changing a lot. And go out and take lot of pictures. Whatever you like, take pictures in your mobile. Even if you have basic camera also, because digital, you don't have to spend anything on films. So keep rocking and go out and keep shooting pictures. Show it to elders, show it to some good photographers where they will give you advice. Thereby, you get more and more better suggestions and guidance, and you can improve a lot. But don't stop taking pictures. Keep taking pictures, whatever you like. Maybe your parents, your children, your pets, or your garden area, or your neighbors. Go and ask their permission and take pictures. And one more thing I will tell you is that whatever the pictures that you take of people, maybe in the street, or your uncle, your auntie, your friends, maybe get small prints and gift them, so that they will help you a lot in the future. All the best, and I will see you as a top photographer in the future days.
So thank you so much, Satish. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Most welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.